Back at every relationship you've ever had, personal, professional, even with yourself, has one thing in common: respect. Without it, trust breaks, communication fails, and connection dies. Back. But here's the truth. Most people miss respect is not given, it's built. And the way you build it determines whether people admire you, ignore you, or walk away. Today, back, I'm going to show you how to create respect in any relationship and keep it for life. Respect in any relationship begins with the foundation you lay for yourself. It is not something you can demand from others, back, nor is it granted simply because of titles or proximity. People instinctively sense when someone carries themselves with clarity, confidence, and self-worth. When you consistently uphold your standards, even in small interactions, others begin to notice and adjust their behavior accordingly. Setting boundaries is not a sign of rigidity, but of self-awareness, signaling that you understand your own value. Without this clarity, relationships drift into a space where respect becomes negotiable and fleeting. It's the subtle cues, the unwavering consistency in your actions, that communicate to others that you are not to be treated casually. Every time you compromise your standards for convenience, you chip away at the respect others are willing to give. Conversely, back, every time you honor your own expectations, you reinforce a magnetic sense of reliability. This is the cornerstone of relationships built on mutual regard rather than obligation. Back, at the essence of respect is often reflected in how you respond to challenges and conflicts. When confronted with situations that test your patience or push against your principles, back, your reactions become the most visible proof of your self-respect. People watch consciously or subconsciously, and they calibrate their behavior based on what they observe. Back. If you tolerate behavior that goes against your standards, it communicates that your boundaries are negotiable. Conversely, standing firm in a calm, controlled, and decisive manner signals strength and integrity. Back. Respect grows when people see that your actions align with your words and that your values are non-negotiable. It is not about confrontation for the sake of ego, but about consistency and reliability. Even small, back, everyday choices reflect your standards, from punctuality to how you treat those who cannot directly benefit you. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to reinforce who you are and what you expect. Over time, get back. These repeated behaviors shape perceptions and build a foundation of respect that cannot easily be shaken. Being clear about your standards also requires self-reflection and honesty. Back. You must know what you will accept and what you will not in relationships of any kind. This clarity is not always easy to achieve because it demands introspection and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Back. Many people shy away from this process, choosing convenience over self-discipline, and as a result, their relationships often reflect confusion and inconsistency. By defining your personal expectations and boundaries, back, you establish a framework within which interactions can flourish. This is the invisible architecture of respect. Without it, interactions are ad hoc and often strained. Clear standards act as a filter, that naturally attracting those who share or appreciate your values and discouraging those who do not. It allows you to engage fully and authentically with people who are willing to meet you at your level. In doing so, back, you minimize friction and create a sense of mutual appreciation that forms the backbone of meaningful relationships. Consistency is the secret ingredient in maintaining respect once it has been established. Back, respect is fragile when it is based solely on moments of charm or temporary achievement. True respect is earned when people observe your dedication to your own principles across time, back, especially when circumstances are challenging. Your standards are meaningless if they fluctuate based on convenience, fear, or the desire to please others. By consistently demonstrating what you value and expect, back, you teach people how to interact with you. Actions speak louder than words, and repeated patterns of behavior communicate far more than declarations of intent. This consistency should be evident in every interaction. Back, whether professional, personal, or casual, people begin to trust that your boundaries are stable, which reduces uncertainty and strengthens your credibility. With every consistent choice, the respect others feel toward you becomes more ingrained and reliable. The language you use also communicates your standards, even when boundaries are nonverbal. Tone, body language, back, and word choice all convey a sense of self-respect and expectation. When you express yourself with clarity and confidence, others are more likely to mirror that respect. Ambiguity, hesitation, back, or over-apologizing can dilute your message, signaling that your standards are flexible or negotiable. When setting expectations, be direct yet composed, ensuring that your message is understood without creating unnecessary tension. People respond to authenticity and conviction. They can sense when you genuinely value yourself and your principles. Back. By coupling your words with consistent actions, you reinforce the standards you set. This alignment between speech and behavior solidifies respect in a way that is subtle yet undeniable. Each interaction becomes a microcosm of the boundaries you uphold, teaching others how to engage with you in meaningful ways. Respect also grows through the careful management of influence and authority. The way you wield power in relationships, whether it's personal, social, or professional, speaks volumes about your standards. Using influence to uplift, clarify, or guide rather than control or manipulate fosters admiration and regard. People respect individuals who lead through integrity and transparency, not coercion or intimidation. Maintaining this balance requires a nuanced understanding of your own values and the courage to apply them consistently. Overstepping boundaries, even unintentionally, can erode respect quickly. Becca, while thoughtful application of your standards reinforces it. By modeling the behavior you expect, you provide a blueprint for others, creating an environment of mutual understanding. Back. This approach avoids unnecessary friction while clearly signaling what you find acceptable. Over time, these habits of principled leadership cultivate relationships rooted in respect rather than fear or convenience. Back. Accountability is another critical element in building respect. Holding yourself responsible for your actions demonstrates a high standard of personal integrity. It shows others that you do not shift blame, make excuses, take it back, or compromise your principles for short-term gain. People respect those who own their decisions, acknowledge mistakes, and take deliberate steps to correct them. This behavior signals self-confidence, hit back, emotional intelligence, and reliability, qualities that naturally attract admiration. It also sets the tone for others in the relationship to act with similar responsibility, creating a culture of respect and trust. Accountability reinforces your standards by showing that they are not theoretical, they are lived values that guide your choices. It also strengthens your credibility back, as people quickly learn that your words are backed by consistent actions. Equally important is recognizing and responding to disrespect without losing composure. Not all interactions will meet your standards, and you must be prepared to address violations effectively. This does not require aggression or hostility, but requires clarity and firmness. Responding appropriately reinforces your boundaries and communicates that you are serious about the expectations you uphold. Avoiding confrontation can be mistaken for weakness, while overreacting can undermine your credibility. The balance lies in measured, consistent responses that protect your standards without compromising your integrity. By handling challenging situations with poise, you signal that respect is non-negotiable. People begin to internalize this expectation and adjust their behavior accordingly, strengthening the respect inherent in the relationship. Finally, the relationships you cultivate are a reflection of the standards you maintain. By consistently modeling the behavior and values you wish to see in others, you attract individuals who respect those principles. Conversely, low standards invite inconsistency, disregard, and tension. Every interaction is a choice point where your actions communicate what you will accept and what you will not. Over time, this curation shapes a network of relationships that are mutually respectful, supportive, and fulfilling. It is not about controlling others, but about creating an environment where respect is natural and self-reinforcing. By prioritizing your own standards, you create a ripple effect that influences the quality and depth of every connection you maintain. Quickest path to respect in any relationship is through the consistent delivery of value. Value is not simply measured in tangible gifts or achievements, but in the ways you contribute to someone else's life. People instinctively notice those who invest time, energy, and attention without immediately demanding something in return. When you focus on creating meaningful impact, you establish credibility and trust that cannot be manufactured through words alone. This is not about self-sacrifice, but about demonstrating competence, reliability, and generosity. Even small gestures, repeated consistently, accumulate into a reputation of dependability. Relationships built on this principle naturally elevate your standing because others recognize your contributions. They respect not only what you do, but also the mindset that drives your actions. By giving thoughtfully and intentionally, you make it clear that you are an asset to any connection. The principle of contribution underpins every meaningful interaction and forms a durable foundation for respect. Earning respect is inseparable from understanding the needs and perspectives of others. When you approach relationships with curiosity and empathy, your actions carry far more weight. People notice when you take the time to understand their challenges, goals, and aspirations, take it back rather than acting solely from your own agenda. This level of attentiveness signals that you value the other person as an individual, not just as a participant in your life or objectives. Offering solutions, support, or insights that genuinely help them demonstrates a practical investment in their well-being. By meeting people where they are and aligning your contributions with their priorities, you cultivate an environment of mutual regard. The combination of attentiveness and action reinforces your reliability and trustworthiness. Over time, this proactive approach to support transforms the way people perceive you. They begin to respect not just your presence, but the thoughtful effort and consideration behind it. Consistency is the invisible force that transforms individual acts of value into sustained respect. One-off contributions are appreciated but rarely remembered or internalized as indicators of character. When you consistently deliver value, regardless of recognition or reward, you signal a deeper principle: your actions are rooted in integrity, not convenience. People come to understand that your reliability is predictable, creating a sense of stability in your interactions. This stability becomes a cornerstone for trust and admiration. It also allows you to establish a rhythm where your contributions are meaningful and impactful rather than sporadic or performative. Reliability in action communicates that your commitment to adding value is enduring, which fosters deep respect. It is not the grand gestures that cement relationships, but the accumulation of consistent, thoughtful behavior over time. Every small action repeated with intention compounds into a reputation of authenticity and dependability. Delivering value effectively also requires self-awareness and discernment. Not all forms of help or contribution are equally meaningful. Back. And understanding where your efforts will have the greatest impact is critical. Strategic generosity is about identifying moments and methods that genuinely improve someone else's situation or understanding. Random acts without consideration may be appreciated in the moment, but do little to establish long-term credibility. By calibrating your efforts to provide real utility, you communicate competence and insight. Back. People respect those who contribute intelligently rather than superficially because it demonstrates both skill and thoughtfulness. Understanding how to apply your abilities and resources in ways that matter is a subtle but powerful form of influence. Back, this approach shows that you are intentional with your energy and that your interactions are guided by principle, not whim. Every contribution becomes a reflection of both your capacity and your character. Equally important is the attitude with which value is delivered. Generosity or contribution that carries hidden expectations often erodes respect rather than building it. Back, when people sense that actions are motivated by ulterior motives, they perceive them as manipulative or transactional. True respect emerges when your value is given freely, without strings attached. Back. This demonstrates confidence in your own abilities and self-sufficiency, removing the need to control outcomes. It also communicates that you do not measure relationships purely by personal gain, but by mutual growth and benefit. By cultivating a mindset of abundance and purposeful contribution, you enhance both your credibility and your relational influence. This approach strengthens the perception that you are a reliable partner or ally, someone whose actions are guided by principle rather than convenience. Delivering value with authenticity is a subtle, yet profoundly effective way to command respect. Observation and adaptability enhance the impact of your contributions. People are diverse in their needs, preferences, and communication styles, and understanding these nuances allows you to provide value in ways that resonate deeply. Tailoring your approach demonstrates attention to detail and genuine consideration back, which increases the perceived significance of your actions. By paying attention to what matters most to others, you create opportunities for meaningful assistance that goes beyond superficial engagement. This intentionality sets you apart from those who act indiscriminately or inconsistently. The combination of insight, empathy, and follow-through communicates reliability, competence, and thoughtfulness simultaneously. Over time, these carefully observed patterns create a sense of admiration and respect. People are naturally drawn to those who not only act, but act in ways that make a tangible difference in their lives. Understanding the unique context of each relationship amplifies the value you provide and solidifies respect. Communication plays a crucial role in ensuring your value is recognized and appreciated. While actions often speak louder than words, clarity about your contributions ensures they are understood and internalized. Miscommunication or silence can lead to underestimation of your efforts, even if the intent is genuine. By articulating the rationale and thought behind your actions when appropriate, you reinforce the depth and intentionality of your contributions. Back, this transparency enhances credibility and allows others to recognize the intentional value you bring to the relationship. Clear communication also sets expectations, preventing misunderstandings and fostering trust. People respect those who act with both competence and clarity, as it reduces uncertainty and strengthens relational stability. The combination of action and communication magnifies the effect of your contributions, making respect a natural outcome. Boundaries are also essential in delivering value effectively. Giving indiscriminately or without consideration can lead to depletion, resentment, or blurred lines back, which ultimately erodes respect. By being intentional about when, where, and how you contribute, you demonstrate self-awareness and discipline. This ensures that your contributions are sustainable, meaningful, and respected rather than perceived as obligation or weakness. Establishing clear boundaries communicates that your time and energy are valuable, which paradoxically increases the value perceived by others. Respect is strengthened when contributions are both intentional and finite, as people recognize that they are earned and not automatically given. Balancing generosity with boundaries signals maturity and thoughtfulness. By managing this dynamic wisely, you preserve your ability to contribute effectively while fostering enduring respect. Trust forms the bridge between contribution and respect. People respect those whose value is delivered reliably and consistently over time. Trust is built when actions align with words, promises are fulfilled, and assistance is provided without hidden agendas. Once trust is established, the impact of your contributions is magnified exponentially. People are more likely to heed your advice, collaborate, and invest in relationships with someone they respect and trust. The reciprocal nature of this dynamic reinforces positive behavior, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of value and respect. Maintaining this trust requires vigilance, consistency, and accountability in all interactions. Over time, this cycle solidifies your position as a dependable and respected presence within any relationship or network. Finally, humility enhances the perception of value. Delivering contributions with arrogance or entitlement undermines the respect you aim to earn. People notice when efforts are made for the benefit of others rather than for self-aggrandizement. Approaching relationships with humility, gratitude, and a genuine desire to help elevates both the effectiveness and perception of your actions. Respect is not simply a reaction to what you do, but to the way you do it. Combining humility with consistency, intelligence, and intentionality makes your contributions far more meaningful. This approach fosters admiration and establishes a strong relational presence that endures through challenges and changes. Value delivered thoughtfully and with authenticity resonates deeply and naturally commands respect. Clarity in communication is one of the most direct ways to build respect in any relationship. People respect those who are honest, clear, and intentional with their words because there is no guessing involved. When someone knows where you stand, they can trust your actions and decisions without constantly questioning your motives. Indirectness, vague language, or avoidance creates unnecessary confusion that diminishes respect over time. Direct communication does not mean being harsh or cold. It means aligning your words with your true thoughts. This honesty saves time, reduces tension, and builds a foundation of trust. Respect is a natural response to people who are courageous enough to be transparent. When you consistently speak with clarity, you establish yourself as reliable and dependable. People will listen more attentively because they know your words carry weight and sincerity. In every relationship, respect grows when communication is authentic and straightforward. The tendency to soften the truth often comes from a fear of conflict or rejection, but this habit undermines respect. When you sugarcoat, delay, or dilute your message, you may avoid temporary discomfort, but you sacrifice long-term credibility. People can sense when you are holding back or not being entirely honest, and this breeds doubt. Over time, this doubt erodes the foundation of trust, making it difficult for respect to thrive. Direct communication requires courage because it means you are willing to risk being disliked in order to stay authentic. Ironically, this authenticity often earns greater admiration than trying to appease everyone. Respect is not built on agreement, it is built on integrity. When you say what you mean and mean what you say, others can depend on your word. This reliability is a key ingredient in relationships that command lasting respect. Respect is reinforced when direct communication is delivered with calmness and composure. The tone you choose matters as much as the content of your message. A sharp or aggressive delivery may obscure your intent and cause defensiveness, while a calm, steady tone invites understanding. The goal of communication is not domination but connection, and respect thrives when both parties feel heard and valued. Directness paired with composure demonstrates emotional control, which is highly respected in any setting. People admire those who can express hard truths without hostility or unnecessary drama. This approach builds confidence in your ability to handle difficult situations without losing focus or integrity. The more composed your communication, the more seriously people take your words. Over time, this strengthens respect because your voice becomes associated with fairness and authority. Every word becomes a reflection of your standards and principles. Direct communication also involves listening just as much as speaking. Respect cannot be sustained if the conversation is one-sided or dominated by your perspective. People value those who show the discipline to listen actively, absorb information, and respond thoughtfully. Listening demonstrates humility and curiosity, qualities that enhance your credibility. When you give others the space to share their ideas and concerns, you send the message that their voice matters. This not only strengthens respect, but also deepens trust and collaboration. Being direct in communication does not mean talking over people. It means creating clarity through exchange. Respect grows in environments where everyone feels they are part of a meaningful dialogue. By pairing honesty in your words with attentiveness in your listening, you create balance. This balance communicates maturity, discipline, and integrity in every interaction. People often confuse direct communication with bluntness, but the two are not the same. Bluntness disregards the impact of words, while directness respects both the truth and the recipient. Respect is not fostered by careless delivery, but by thoughtful honesty. Choosing words carefully ensures that the message is clear without being needlessly damaging. People notice when you take the time to deliver difficult truths in a way that preserves dignity. This balance shows strength as well as emotional intelligence, both of which naturally attract respect. Bluntness may achieve short-term attention, but often breeds resentment, whereas thoughtful directness sustains admiration. The more skilled you become at this balance, the more influence you gain. Respect thrives in environments where truth is present, but compassion is never absent. Direct communication requires this blend to achieve its full impact. Another dimension of direct communication is the avoidance of passive-aggressive behavior. Subtle hints, sarcasm, or indirect criticism often create confusion and resentment. People quickly lose respect when they have to decode your intentions rather than hear them clearly. Passive-aggressive patterns may feel safer in the moment, but they damage relationships in the long run. Directness eliminates these games and establishes a foundation of mutual understanding. When people know they can rely on you to address issues openly, they feel more secure in the relationship. This security fosters respect because clarity reduces unnecessary conflict and tension. Every time you choose to address matters directly instead of hiding behind indirect behavior, you strengthen your credibility. Respect grows when people can trust you to communicate with integrity, no matter the circumstance. This trust becomes the cornerstone of long-lasting connections. Direct communication also demonstrates accountability, which is central to respect. When you own your words and decisions, you communicate responsibility and maturity. People respect those who do not shift blame, make excuses, get back, or rely on vague statements to avoid responsibility. Being accountable in communication means acknowledging your mistakes, clarifying misunderstandings, and taking corrective action quickly. In fact, this transparency reassures others that you value truth over image. It demonstrates that your priority is integrity rather than comfort. Accountability in words is a rare quality, which is why it is so highly respected. People gravitate toward those whose communication is honest, responsible, and dependable. This consistency makes you stand out in relationships where respect is often conditional. Every accountable statement builds credibility and deepens admiration. Confidence is another trait that amplifies the impact of direct communication. When you speak with conviction, people naturally pay more attention to your words. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It means trusting your perspective enough to express it clearly and openly. People respect those who are able to communicate decisively without hesitation or excessive self-doubt. Indecision or over-apologizing often weakens the message, creating the perception that your standards are flexible. Confidence reinforces the idea that your communication is grounded in clarity and thought. This strength makes others more likely to value your perspective and respect your role in the relationship. People are drawn to voices that carry assurance because they convey reliability. Every confident statement signals that you take both yourself and the relationship seriously. Over time, this quality makes respect a natural outcome of your interactions. Direct communication is not only about handling conflicts, but also about setting clear expectations. When expectations are left unspoken or implied, they often lead to disappointment and frustration. People cannot respect standards they do not understand, and unspoken rules are rarely followed. By stating your expectations openly and respectfully, you give others the opportunity to align or clarify. This transparency eliminates unnecessary tension and fosters smoother relationships. Clear expectations create accountability on both sides, which builds mutual respect. People appreciate knowing what is required of them, and they respect those who articulate it honestly. Without clear communication, relationships become filled with assumptions and unmet obligations. By taking responsibility for clarity, you show leadership and maturity. Respect grows when everyone knows exactly where they stand. The lasting impact of direct communication lies in its ability to create trust that endures through challenges. People may not always agree with what you say but they will respect the fact that you are consistent and truthful. This reliability builds a reputation that transcends individual moments. Over time, people come to view you as someone who can be counted on for clarity and honesty. This reputation makes every relationship smoother because respect is already established. Directness saves time, prevents misunderstandings, and cultivates an atmosphere of authenticity. People admire those who do not waste energy on pretenses or hidden agendas. By making honesty your default mode, you become a respected presence in every interaction. The cumulative effect of this approach is a network of relationships rooted in trust and regard. Respect is never built on single moments of effort or grand gestures. While people may appreciate an impressive act, respect is cemented when your behavior remains steady over time. Consistency is what transforms admiration into trust and trust into respect. Charisma may capture attention, but it does not sustain credibility if actions fail to match words. People notice patterns, and they measure reliability by how often you follow through. Respect grows stronger each time you prove dependable, not through one extraordinary display. Even small acts like showing up on time or keeping promises reinforce your standards. The strength of your reputation is built in daily habits rather than dramatic events. Respect follows when people know they can rely on you in both large and small matters. Consistency is the true foundation upon which respect rests. Charisma can often create the illusion of respect, but it fades quickly if it is not supported by reliability. A confident smile or persuasive speech might win attention in the short term, but actions reveal the truth over time. People are not fooled forever by appearances because experience always outweighs impressions. When your behavior contradicts your words, credibility erodes and respect disappears. Consistency, however, creates a track record that is undeniable. It speaks louder than charm, louder than image, and louder than empty promises. Reliability communicates strength of character because it requires discipline and self-control. It shows that you live by principles, not by moods or circumstances. People deeply admire those who are the same in public and in private, in triumph and in difficulty. This steadiness is what makes respect sustainable. Everyday commitments provide the clearest proof of consistency. Showing up when you said you would, honoring your deadlines, and keeping your promises reflect integrity. These may seem small, but together they communicate that you are trustworthy. Respect weakens when commitments are broken, even if unintentionally. People remember how reliable you were when they needed you most, not how persuasive you sounded. By treating each obligation seriously, no matter how minor, you send the message that your word matters. Consistency in the little things lays the groundwork for credibility and bigger responsibilities. Over time, this behavior forms a clear identity that people can count on. Respect flourishes when people feel secure in your reliability. What you repeat daily shapes the respect you command. Consistency also means aligning your behavior with your stated values. Respect is quickly lost when there is a gap between what you say and what you do. People naturally look for integrity, the seamless connection between words and actions. Upholding your principles back, even when it is inconvenient, shows strength of character. Anyone can behave well when it is easy, but true consistency is tested under pressure. When you make decisions that honor your standards despite difficulty. Back, people pay attention. This discipline creates lasting admiration because it demonstrates authenticity. Respect is not built on perfection, but on integrity over time. Back, by ensuring your actions consistently match your values, you establish credibility that cannot be faked. The harmony between words and deeds is the mark of true respect. Challenges are the ultimate test of consistency, and how you respond defines the respect you will earn. In times of stress or conflict, your character becomes visible to everyone around you. If you lose control, shift blame, or abandon your values, credibility dissolves. However, if you remain steady, respectful, and principled, people will admire your resilience. Consistency under pressure communicates strength and reliability in ways that no speech can match. People respect those who can maintain composure while facing difficulty. It shows that your standards are not situational, but deeply ingrained. Back, every crisis becomes a stage where your reliability is observed and remembered. The more consistent your reactions, the stronger your reputation becomes. Respect follows those who remain steady in storms. Consistency is not about being rigid, but about being dependable. People often mistake consistency for inflexibility, but the two are not the same. Flexibility allows you to adapt to changing circumstances. Take it back, while consistency ensures your values remain intact. You can adjust strategies while still keeping your principles steady. This balance is what makes consistency so powerful. Back, because it shows you are reliable without being stubborn. People admire those who can evolve with time yet still remain true to their standards. It communicates growth anchored in stability, which is rare and respected. Back, consistency is not sameness, it is reliability through change. By demonstrating both adaptability and principle, you become someone others can trust. Respect grows when you are both steady and wise. It back. Consistency requires discipline, and discipline is what turns intention into reality. Good intentions alone do not command respect because people evaluate results, not just promises. Discipline ensures that your behavior matches your standards repeatedly, not occasionally. This requires commitment, patience, and self-control in daily actions. When others see that you live by discipline, they recognize the effort behind your consistency. Respect grows because they know your reliability is earned, not accidental. Discipline also communicates seriousness back, that you take both yourself and your relationships to heart. People respect those who do not waver at every impulse or excuse. By holding yourself accountable to discipline, you embody reliability. Back at. Respect always follows those who are consistent through disciplined action. Consistency extends beyond how you treat yourself. It reflects in how you treat others. Respect grows when people see you offer fairness, kindness, and honesty consistently. It is easy to treat people well when it benefits you, but true character shows in how you treat those with nothing to give. By consistently showing dignity and consideration to all, back, you communicate equality and principle. People respect those who live this way because it demonstrates humility and strength. Respect is diminished when kindness appears selective or conditional. Back, when you are steady in your treatment of others, you earn admiration across every relationship. This reliability creates an environment of trust that spreads naturally. Consistency in kindness is just as powerful as consistency in discipline. The way you treat others every day shapes the respect you receive. Consistency is a slow process, but its effects are lasting. Back, unlike charisma or occasional achievements, it cannot be faked or fabricated. It takes time, but that time creates permanence. Back, the respect earned through consistency becomes durable because it is based on lived experience. People do not just hear about your reliability, they witness it over and over again. This repetition builds a reputation that is unshakable. Once respect is grounded in consistency, it becomes difficult to lose. Even mistakes are forgiven more easily when people know your overall pattern is reliable. It back. Respect grows quietly but steadily in the presence of consistent behavior. What lasts is not what dazzles, but what endures. In the end, respect does not come from moments of brilliance, but from patterns of reliability. Back, people admire charm, but they respect consistency because it proves character. Every promise kept, every standard upheld, and every value honored contributes to this foundation. Over time, back, your reputation becomes the story others tell about you, and consistency writes every chapter. Respect is not built overnight, but it is built permanently when actions align steadily with principles. Charisma may open doors, but consistency keeps them open. What truly matters is not how loudly you shine, but how faithfully you stand. When others know you will always show up, respect naturally follows. Consistency is the quiet power that outlasts everything else. And it is this power that makes respect endure through every season of life.